Welcome to the Man3000 training video series. In this video we will go through the setup of the Yeastar P-Series PABX. Before we start, we will ensure all configurations are completed on your PABX. To do this, log into your PABX. Navigate to the Integrations drop-down on the left-hand side. We will now go into the Database Grant menu. Here is an example of a configured system. You will ensure that the Database Grant option is enabled at the top left. You will then set up the username and password. This can be anything that you require. Depending on your PABX security setup, there will be rules regarding the password length, etc. You will then need to add the IP address of the system that your Man3000 shall be loaded. Once this is done, we will now move on to the installation of the Man3000. Run the install file you downloaded from our website at www.man3000.com. The link can also be found in the description below. Click Next. Read the license agreement and then select the I accept the terms of this license agreement and then click Next. We can then set the path for the Man3000 installation. The default is recommended, but should you wish to change the location, hit the Change button. You can now select the path you wish to install the Man3000. Click Install once all of these settings have been configured. At this point, just wait for the installation to finish. You can now click the Finish button. Now that our install is done, we need to configure the Man3000. Double-click the icon on your desktop. Your Man3000 will start up and request that you configure the XY. This must be done before we can continue, so click Yes. You can now click Yes on the warning that appears. In the new window that is opened, we need to populate the phone number of the client. The area code is in the top dialog, and the rest of their number is in the second dialog. We then need to click the Build Codebook button. You'll then be asked to change the codebook. To this we will say yes. You then click OK to confirm the area. If you have a custom codebook, you will then need to say yes to additional codebooks, but this will be covered in another video. For now, we will click No. You can now click the Close button. Upon doing so, the Man3000 will auto start once again. When we open the Man3000, we'll first click the key icon on the top left and fill in the TIS password. This will allow us to edit all the settings we need to. To streamline the setup, we will start by setting the PABX formats. Click on Settings, then select PABX Format 1. In the new dialog that is opened, click the Import button on the right hand side. You then select the appropriate folder for the license type that you have purchased, be it soft online, dongle, etc. In this folder we will now look for the Yeastar P-Series SS23 PBX1, and you can click Save and Close. We now repeat the exact same steps but for PABX Format 2, and we will select the PBX2 file that we saw before. Again, double click, save and close. We now need to go to the rest of the settings. Click on the Settings tab and then go down to Comport Settings. On the very first tab, this is where we will set the license we purchased, soft alarm, dongle, etc. Now select the PABX Connection tab. For the Yeastar systems, they all use the External Collection App tab, and you will select the Man3000 DB to File option from the drop-down. If this is already selected, just select any of the other options and go back to DB to File. We need this so that we can save the configuration. We will then select the Advanced Settings tab. In the drop-down, select option number 23. You will now click the Import button. As you can see, ensure that you are in the correct folder. The folder that should automatically open is CSV to Fixed Field. Some Windows systems default to the desktop. If this is the case, just navigate to your Man3000 folder and into the CSV to Fixed Field folder. Within this folder, you will scroll all the way down to the bottom and find the Yeastar P-Series file. Double click this to make the selection. You will now select the option that says Save all telephone calls to the Tillen error file. You can now close this window. You will then open up the Please Register button at the top of the screen. On the screen, you will now click on the Edit button. If you do not see the Edit button, close the screen and click on the key and fill in the TIS password once again, and then click Please Register again. You should now see the Edit button. On this form, you'll now need to fill out the details as required. The grey section at the top is for the client information. Please fill each one of these out accurately. There should be no spaces in the telephone number, and you do not need to populate the system information dialog. The green section is then your details as the dealer. Once these have all been typed in, you may hit save. We now need to register the software. Please note that until you register, none of the processing will happen. So at this point we will click Process Registration. This process is very straightforward. You will just follow the prompts as you receive them. Please remember that you need to be registered with Man3000 as a registered technician, and when filling in your phone number to use an international format. For example, for South Africa, this is +27 in place of the 0 at the front of your phone number. At this point you can safely click the Close button. Once you receive the unlock code via SMS, you can click the Please Register button again. You will now click the Register button on the left hand side. You will now fill in the unlock code that you have received in your SMS. At this point you will go to the external application that opened before. Please reopen it. If you clicked Close on the first form, you will just need to type in the password and go to Settings again. So we'll click on File, Password. The password here is TIS, and then click Settings. In this form you will then select from the drop down Yeastar P-Series. And now we need to fill in the rest of the details. The IP address will be the IP address of your Yeastar system. The port number will always be 3306. The database name and the table name will be CDR. And the username and password is those that we set up at the beginning of this video. You can now click Save. At this point your configuration is complete and you should start receiving calls in a couple of minutes depending on your system speed and the configuration in the database collection. If you are still having problems, please confirm all of your settings as we have stated here beforehand, that your software is registered. If there is still a problem, please contact Man3000 support and we will assist you with any configurations that may have gone awry.
Man3000, it works.